Adventure, an unusual, exciting, or possibly dangerous activity or experience, or the excitement produced by such an activity. I've taken a rocket to the North Cape, to the Canary Islands, and pretty much every country in between. This may seem adventurous to some, but certainly not to others, which confirms my belief that adventure is very personal. But is it possible to have a motorcycle adventure on your own doorstep? Don't leave your own county, yet still find an adventurous spirit within you. In the present world of motorcycling, the term adventure biking seems to be the number one trend, and it made me consider what exactly it is and whether it's possible to experience it so close to home. Since buying my little 300cc single-cylinder dual sports bike a couple of months ago, it's opened my eyes to this different genre of biking. Not only that, but it's taken me back to my teenage years and almost recreated that feeling which got me into biking in the first place. The simplicity of a small bike does not diminish in any way the enjoyment that motorcycling brings, and in fact has added to my whole joy of biking. The progress of technology over the decades has rightly improved motorcycle safety, but this old school biker thinks it's also taken away some of the raw qualities that got us teenage bikers into the world of biking in the first place. Yes, my little Honda has ABS, a gear indicator, fuel gauge, rev counter, and is even started electrically, all things my first bike never had. Now it's difficult to find a bike without these modern features. I'm not really a Flintstones version of biking, but my steed doesn't have 6-point axis IMU, heated grips yet, heated seat, wireless connectivity, a screen, panniers, etc, etc. So to the ride. The plan was to head from my hometown of Carlisle, be joined by my mate Andy on his identical Honda CRF, and head to the heart of our Lake District, less than an hour's ride away. We would knock off a few green lanes in the Langdale area before catching a ferry across Windermere for a night in Bowness, then resume our mini adventure en route back home. Our first target after morning coffee in Grasmere was to head towards the intriguingly named Dungeon Gill, nestled in the Langdale Valley. It will come as no surprise that the name Langdale originates from the Old Norse term for Long Valley, and is regarded as one of the top beauty spots in the Lake District. It surely is a beautiful place, even when the sun isn't cracking the flags. At the head of the valley is Crinkle Crags, which my local chemotherapy department is named after. I have a wry smile as I ride up out of the valley and look across to those fell tops, just 2 weeks after finishing my final, for the time being, visit to Carlisle Hospital's named suite. Our first green lane was a flat, easy 1 miler for these two fresh out of the packet would-be off-roaders. I use the term off-road, which isn't strictly an accurate description, as most are boats, byways open to all traffic, and are in fact historically roads, not footpaths, which is where there is some misunderstanding between those who use such paths. I hasten to add that neither of us would intentionally use any paths which we were not entitled to, and ride very slowly past other users, always saying hello or thanking them. Some walkers are lovely and spend quite a while chatting with us, whilst others are not so friendly. We are very courteous, conscious of the image we portray, and wish to maintain a good relationship with all users of such paths. Our first green lane brought us out by the old Dungeon Gill Hotel, and we then continued on the tarmac roads on the steep climb out of the valley, which leads us past the much photographed Blee Tarn towards the foot of Rhino's Pass. Green Lane number 2 took us from the base of Rhinos Pass near Fellfoot Farm for 3 miles past Tilberthwaite before eventually spitting us out onto the Coniston Road. No great drama on this trail, but it still came with a few challenges for us, which by the end of the day we could look back at and think it was a breeze by comparison, which in fact it was. Green Lane number 3 was just a 2-mile spirited road ride away and highlighted the surprising dual sport capabilities of such a small machine. Number 3 led us via Hodge Close back to our starting point at the foot of Rhinos. Now this 3-miler did throw up some new challenges, all of which we coped with in our own way. This looks tricky! This looks tricky! Go ahead! Tricky! Having done all the difficult stuff, I toppled off the bike whilst almost stationary. No damage or injury, despite me needing Andy to help me get my right leg out from being wedged under the bike.
You alright?
Yeah, I just got my legs stuck. Right. Oh man, just needed a rest really. I just needed a rest.
Yeah. I compliment you on the point at which you took it. Nice area.
Fucking hell. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Get up, man. Got it. Just kick this one, obviously. Oh, come on. Let's try again. Always switch off them. No, switch off, switch it back on. Like you do a computer.
Absolutely.
Green Lane number 4 took us past all the miserable fell walkers on the path leading to Elterwater, where we refreshed ourselves at the Britannia Inn. Elterwater is a lovely little village, but alas has lost its soul. Nobody lives there anymore, as all the properties are second homes and holiday lets. It's actually quite sad that true locals have probably been priced out of the market, but I suppose that's typical of many desirable villages throughout this country and abroad. Again, it was only a short ride via Little Langdale to Green Lane number 5, just over 2 miles. Part of the Cumbria way, it was just 2 miles long off the Skellyth Bridge to Coniston Road, which led us in a southeasterly direction towards Hawkshead. This lane brought us yet more challenges, but with us laughing at our sense of achievement. By no means the most testing lane of the day, but enough to require a great deal of concentration and physical effort.
It was all over the show.
Oh, it was, but good,
That was knackering.
but good.
I just kept the power on, Bri.
That's it. That's it, isn't it?
It's a little nerve-wracking because you know,
I
but
know.
it's the actually only thing that's getting you through there. And I kept thinking, you know, if you stop or you get the power off and you're going to have to go into first, you're going to struggle to get going again.
That's right, I know.
Just keep it going.
I know, but you just want it to end, don't you? Oh my God.
I'm pleased I'm not the only one who thinks that. I was thinking, for fuck's sake, will you just come to an end?
It was now 3 p.m, and due to the weather, we would only have an hour before it started to get a bit dusky. So we headed to the Windermere Ferry to cross the lake to Bowness, where we would spend the night recounting events over a few drinks by the open log fire. We woke to a drizzly Tuesday morning, and after a hearty full English breakfast, we loaded the bikes, well, mine, because Andy had all his stuff in his rucksack, and headed the short distance to the next Green Lane, which was actually named Green Lane, and was a bit of a muddy affair of 1.5 miles from the A5074 to Mitchellland. This was in complete contrast from the rocky encounters we'd had the day before, and yet again required another skill set to come out of it at the other end unscathed. We were both surprised how much it took it out of us after yesterday's exploits, and as Andy was having an ankle problem, we decided the wise option was to head to Kendal for refuelling before having a look at a lane that really sparked our interest. We knew that under the circumstances we wouldn't attempt the full lane at nearly 5 miles long, but wanted to have a look at the ford which was near the start. Breast High Road runs between the A6 near the dip before the climb up to Shap Summit, and pretty much follows a northeasterly route towards Orton. We decided it was within our limited abilities to pass through it, and then of course return back through it and back up to the A6 again. It's the deepest water either of us had ever been through, but caused no issues, so yet again another challenge ticked off. Once back on proper tarmac, it was an easy ride home via the 11s at the cafe in Shap. We finished the trip with so much more experience of different terrains and the struggles they bring to novice Green Laners, tired but with a sense of achievement. Was it an adventure in our back garden? Unusual? To some it would be, and to us I suppose it is a contrast from our biking routes. Exciting? Not particularly, but I think we'd class it as an enjoyable buzz. Dangerous? Well, you're only one rock from a tumble. We also enjoyed very much the exploration of narrow country lanes and got a kick from riding our little machines enthusiastically on good surfaces. So all in all, I think it did qualify as a mini adventure, and there's little doubt that it won't be the last.